Welcome to MySchool training. In this video, we'll be showing you how to set up your MySchool announcement module for your community. These steps are aimed at super key users and school administrators. The settings will be applied to the whole school, so please make sure you have discussed these internally before activating. Super users will have access to the new configuration panel, which is a new page designed to give users a one-stop shop to key configuration steps. If it's not available on your system, then contact our support team to create an access for the relevant user group. Let's open up the new announcements configuration panel. All legacy announcements will be migrated by July 2022, so make sure you have this configured before this date. At the top, you have 4 tabs: General, which has the main configuration items; Layout, which allows you to customize your sent mails; Templates, for regular communications or official announcements; and the Migration tab, which will allow you to decide when you would like to transition your school completely to this new module. Let's look at how we can configure certain features in the announcement module. Firstly, let's look at behavior. There are 3 options that you can apply, or not at all, to the users sending announcements. If you want all 3 to be checked for your users, then set them here. Let me show you what I mean. In the delivery option, users can select if they want to post the announcement to the portal, as an email, and also send a copy to their primary email addresses. If selected in the configuration panel, then these will be automatically checked for the user. Then, afterwards, individuals can uncheck them if they wish. The same can be changed from the Send From options. Decide what should be the default option for your users. The options are still controlled by security permissions, so if a user cannot send on behalf of the school or other users, they will not appear as options for them. Announcements can now be customized in detail. If you want to reword the system messages, then you can. You can even include some replacement tags by clicking on the arrow for options. Make it personal for the reader. But just don't forget to enter a space if you do use the tags, and do not change the wording of the replacement tags. Digests are a new inclusion in MySchool. They are designed to group communications together into one mail, rather than multiple mails. You choose whether to activate these digests or not. The users themselves can then choose whether they wish to subscribe to them or not. Determine the day and the hour that these will be made available. You can design the layout of the digest and add branding elements. With the rich text editor, you can add images, colors, and other formatting styles. Again, change the subject line and make it personal to the reader. Open the tag options to make the digest function correctly. You must include either the option to have the announcement show as hyperlinks or not. We see in the body that it's set to be like that. We can also include the recipient name and the number of announcements. Have a look at how it looks on the preview screen. You can even send the template to yourself or another user to get their advice. Categories are a new addition as well. These are created here centrally, and you decide whether you make them optional, mandatory, or you don't have to activate them at all. When users receive the announcement, they can filter by category. Just open the Manage Categories to create or edit these. On the slide over, use the Add Category and enter a label and choose a color. Think about your color coding and how this relates to the category. One quite big change if you are migrating from the legacy version, you will notice that we no longer have an expiry date on the individual sent announcements. It has been replaced with a global retention policy. Discuss internally how long you wish the announcements to remain visible on your system. The announcement module comes with a default design layout. For those with HTML knowledge, you'll be able to design branded mails for your school. Just note there can only be one active layout available at any one time. Please do not try to edit the code here if you are not confident with HTML. If in doubt, then contact our support team and we can look into a quote for customization works, depending on your requirements. The template editor is for the body of the announcements rather than the outer layout. Templates can be created centrally and made available to all users. You can also let them create their own templates if they wish. It is the same rich text editor used when creating announcements, so most users will be used to the formatting options available. The subject line has a replacement tag option, allowing for personalized subject headers. The user, when creating the template, decides if it's going to be publicly available, i.e. for all users, or just enable it for a single user by making it private and finding their name in the search bar. Let's add a new image and resize. Good tip is to leave headers and colors if you want others to follow a centralized branded theme. Let's replace the stock text and add our own. Replacement tags can now even be added to the body of the mail itself. The template, when saved, is available for all the users who can create announcements if it was made public. Let's open an announcement and load the template. All users have to do is to update the information and send. The last setting for you to do is to determine a migration date for transitioning from legacy to the latest version. As the message explains, this will transfer all existing announcements and settings and recreate these in the new system. It will give you time to update users and advise them to check out the articles relating to the changes before migrating. Users will also note a new functionality that is being introduced with our new modules. There is a security button now. This is designed to simplify user group settings, as it only concerns permissions related to the module in question. You add a user group from your already created list, and then configure the settings from here. It will sync up with the settings within inside of the user group itself. The CSMs are more than ready to help you with the security settings as usual, so if you are unsure, please do not change these. But let's go through them together. Configure announcements is for access to this configuration tool itself. We would suggest to restrict this to your super user group only. Can send on behalf of school allows the sender to use the school email instead of their own mail when sending announcements. On behalf of others means you can select a user and send it on their behalf. So maybe the assistant to the headmaster or the principal would be able to send an email out on their behalf. Can ignore subscriptions is for sending essential mails and for overriding the digest. Create allows the user to send announcements. This is limited still to staff users only. Manage announcements give the user the ability to view all announcements within their security context, even if they are not the sender or included in the target audience. Manage all templates give the user access to create templates for others, and personal templates allows them to create templates just for their private use. Let's see how these settings can change for a teacher user group, for example. Here we see there are further restrictions, as teachers would not have access to the configuration tool, or the ability to send on behalf of school or others. Possibly they would not be able to override subscription settings, but this is up to your school to decide. They should be able to send announcements though, and the most appropriate setting would be send announcements within their school level, but only able to see their own announcements and not anybody else's. Our support team is here to help, so organize a call and they can showcase these new features with you and work out a suitable migration that fits your calendar.